Britain is a diverse, a tolerant country. We have a very proud tradition of welcoming people from all parts of the world, and the UK Independence Party wants to keep it that way. But did you know that in May this year, politicians in London decided to open our doors to a potential 73 million migrants from Eastern Europe? That's 73 million. We are the only country in Europe to have this open borders policy. And yet, incredibly, of the 87 MEPs, British MEPs in Europe, only 3 voted against it. And they were members of the UK Independence Party. Britain may be the 4th largest economy in the world, but we still have massive waiting lists for hospital beds, overcrowded classrooms, a shortage of teachers, and millions of pensioners living in poverty. And what do? We give £50 million net a day to the EU. That's money that could be better spent in improving our health service, recruiting thousands of more teachers and improving pensions. And yet instead it's siphoned off to the EU in Brussels and it's frittered away in waste, corruption and fraud. Throughout the ages, decisions affecting the British people have been made in Westminster, or town halls like this. Now they're in the hands of unelected commissioners in Brussels. And every year, thousands of regulations and directives spew out of Brussels, affecting every aspect of our lives. From the curvature of bananas to the number of hours you're allowed to work. And now, if Tony Blair gets his way, we're going to sign up to a full-blown written EU constitution that will take away our right to govern ourselves, to run our economy, to speak our mind, to be British. So now, that's if I'm allowed, I'm going to ask what the British people think about all this.
All our monetary policy is dictated by them.
Just worry that if the EU and it all opens up, that all the floodgates will open and everybody will be mixed everywhere and there'll be no stability anywhere.
There's going to be a time where no more people can fit on the island.
The paper chase around Europe and the amount of money that's squandered.
We have £15 million more a day to spend in Britain.
Well, wholes, really. Yes, wholes, more than anything.
I'll spend it on my kids in education.
I just can't believe we're going to be using euros in England.
We want to keep it.
The pound you're talking about?
That's right.
Is that the most important issue for you?
Definitely.
How can we, as a country, allow this to happen?
I don't think we should.
If you, like the majority of British people, think we should leave the EU and take back control of our own country, then vote UK Independence Party and say no to uncontrollable EU immigration. Say no to the European Union spending your money, and say no to this country being governed by Brussels. It really is time that the voice of the people was heard.
All the other parties are saying we shouldn't leave the European Union, that we're in too deep. Don't believe them. They're the same politicians who've been lying to you for 30 years about the true nature of the European Union. It's not too late. We can get out. Say no to European Union and vote UK Independence Party on June the 10th.
Would British trade be affected if we left the European Union? No. They sell us far more than we sell them. They need us far more than we need them. And anyway, Britain is a global trading nation. And as far as jobs are concerned, unemployment inside the Eurozone is double that outside the Eurozone. The only people that will lose their jobs are the Brussels bureaucrats. UKIP seeks an amicable divorce from the political European Union and its replacement with a genuine free trade agreement, which is what we thought we'd signed up for in the first place.
So you know the facts, you know the dangers of staying in the EU, and you also know there's a safe and prosperous way out. By voting UKIP on June the 10th, you can ensure that we are free to control our own borders, free to determine our own laws, free to spend our money in our own way, free to speak your mind, and free to be proud to be British. Say no to the European Union now. Why don't you lend us your vote on polling day and make June the 10th the UK Independence Day?